Hey guys, we're out here in the southern part of Sweden, out in the deep forest, with a what they call a cobra, a king cobra, by the name of Bonnie, this horse here, who supposedly attacks. Well, not supposedly, she is attacking her owners and biting and rearing up and doing stuff. And we are going to see kind of if we can find the reasoning behind, like why she does it. Why she has those expectations, and also why she feels that she needs to do that. So we're going to look at that, and then we're going to see what we can do about it. So what we're going to do is first of all just test to see if we can see something with this girl here. Now she has a nice little scratch on her tail. So we'll give her that time, and then we'll see what we can do and what we have here. Yeah, a few hours later. I can just, if I do, maybe I can distract her from it. No? She figured that since we weren't going to do anything, I might as well just take a time here. Okay. I will just test some stuff, see what she says to doing something. Like if I push on her ribs here, just push a little bit. Like what is she doing and how does she take it? So there you go, okay. I won't get too fooled by her ears. Because her ears, of course it can mean that she has an attitude, but it can also just mean like now that I'm close to her head. So I won't be too bothered with the ears at the moment. So what we'll see here is what she does. Like if I put my hands, like we know we can pet her, but what if I put my hands and put a little bit of request in? So I'll ask her to back up just a little bit here. And slowly but surely, I'll increase it and see what she does. And what she did there was no attitude. It was just like, what does this mean? And then she figured it out. So that's one thing. So I'll just do it again, see if she has figured it out. So it was a little bit better. Good. So then I'll try the other kind of way of asking her to back. So I'll just use some hands like this, see if anything happens and what she does. So now you see the difference in the ears, but you see it in the eyes also. Now you see the attitude come up. And this is just expectations that she has here. You see that? She kind of goes against the pressure. So we don't want that. It's not healthy for anything, but we don't want to punish it either, because that just reinforces the attitude. So what I'll do here is see if I can catch her attention again. Like this. And then I'll kind of do the same here, but I'll have the stick up, and then I'll actually just touch. And then I'll do it again. And then I'm going to touch more. So I won't do this too many times, because it will just annoy her even more and confirm her attitude. So I need to have an effect almost immediately that the touch means something. Otherwise, it will become meaningless to her, and she will just be more annoyed. So now I'm going to touch, and I'm going to match kind of what I feel the power is with my touch. So I'm basically going to be like another horse and biting if she comes again. There you go. Pay attention, my love. So what I'm doing here is I do this, and then I'm gonna touch. So it has an effect on the feet, and that's the important part. So that was a good match there. I didn't have to do too much, but I had to do enough so that she actually moved her feet. So we'll give her some time, and then I'm just gonna do it again here. Ask to move away like this. And when she moves her feet, I don't have to touch, even though the attitude was there. Because it's important that we talk with her and not at her. And here we were having a little conversation about just moving your feet backwards. And that is the kind of conversation we need to have with this horse. And for the rest of her life, she needs to understand that it is a matter of conversation, not a matter of order and obedience. But it's very typical with a horse that has those kind of problems that she has and the issues that she has, that people, especially trainers who kind of want to make a result, they make it a matter of obedience because you see the attitude. Okay, so now I got a little bit more here. So then I open up, and I will basically do the same. So I'll say, can you move your feet? Can you move your feet? And if I feel like this, like she will come, I'll move here, and I'll have to touch even more. And then I can touch this one as well. And it's not important at this stage that if I touch on this side that she moves away. It's important that she just moves. So that she understands what it's all about. Oh, that was not a good step for me today. So we'll just put that away so we don't mess with that. So now we can start having a different kind of conversation with her. So now it's very typical, it's not unusual that she starts to avoid me now, because she feels like, oh, this is different than what she expects and what she's maybe used to from Poland or from whatever. So then she avoids, and that's why she goes to the other end. But that's okay. So I'll do this, and then it's basically doing the same, but from a distance. So what I really want her to do is to back up. So I'm gonna put energy towards her nose, and I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna put energy towards her nose. If you put yourself here, you can see. I'm gonna put energy from me towards her nose with a specific purpose and an intent to move her front legs. And if they move away or backwards, that's okay. What I don't really want is them moving towards me, because I'm actually putting energy this way. So what I'm doing is I put the energy, and then, let's see if I need to do this. I'm saying, can you, so she's too far away, so I'll just use this one. Touch the nose. So that was not a good match, because it didn't have an effect. So I need to do a little bit more to have an effect. So maybe sound. So I'm just using sound here and not touch to have her move her feet. So that she starts to understand that this is not about hitting her, it's not about annoying her or doing something, it's just about moving your feet at this point. And then I actually want her to look at me, so now I'm gonna put emphasis and focus on the back here, the back legs, and I want them to move, so I'll see here if I can touch. Okay, nothing happened, so I'll do it again. Touch. Nothing really happened. There, something happens. Now she starts doing it. So now I want her to move them. Come on. And that, there it, just a little bit. So this, she's in a difficult position here, because it's hard for her to move the back legs that way. So she has to actually come this way, but she doesn't really want to, because she's in a avoidance. So that's why this can be a very impactful thing for her. So what I can be satisfied is the moving forward like this, because it's still the back legs that she moves. There you go. And then I can ask her to move backwards. So I'll put the energy out in front, and I can just touch the wall there. See if that works? That works. And then I can do it again. Can you move backwards? And now touch the wall with some sound. So that didn't have an effect, and that didn't have an effect, so I touch her nose. And that had an effect. So that's very, very important when we have horses like this that especially have expectations and have issues and are not really that teachable. Then we need to have an effect and not just do and do and do and nothing really happens. We need to be effectful in our communication in order for her to understand that something needs to happen. So there we go. So I'll ask her to back up again. So I'll touch with the sound, touch there. That's good. And of course, with that's good. With a horse that already has attitude, I'm doing my absolute best to not confirm that attitude and reinforce that attitude. And that's why I do kind of tricks to not touch. I will touch if I have to, but I do like basically all I can to not touch, because that's probably something that has created her attitude before. So now it's a matter of moving the back legs again. So I'll just put it here. Maybe I can put some sound on the wall there. And the tail just. So I just touched the hair on the tail and then the wall, and that was good. There you go. And then I'll show, like when she comes with a question like that, then of course I have to basically invite her and encourage that question, that attitude. Yeah. There you go. So now I'm gonna ask if she wants to touch me. So I'll see where the threshold is. Now there's no energy. So, but she still has, like it's very clear to see that she has expectations and no curiosity. She already thinks she knows what's going to happen. And that's why I'm kind of like using my energy is, if there is any energy, it will go that way and not towards her. But otherwise it's just neutral. And just ask if she could be curious towards this. So she's definitely not curious. And that is a big problem if we're going to have a relationship or a partnership. We absolutely needs curiosity, because otherwise she won't learn. She won't want, she won't get ambitions to be friendly. There we go. Just a little bit. And curiosity is basically the opposite of expectations. We don't want too many expectations, and we certainly don't want bad expectations. And that's what she has. She expects something. I need to go all the way here in order to get a little bit of curiosity to this. There you go. Yeah. Like when she looks like that, she's very cute. Yeah. So let's see if I can ask her to actually move her front end towards me. There you go. Just like that. And that is always the kind of the risky part in this situation when we know we have a horse that attacks, is to slowly put yourself in more and more dangerous situations, but doing it in order to get the change of attitude and mindset in the horse. So I'm saying, can you put your butt away from me and your nose towards me? So I say, can you put that away from me? And see, now I don't need that much touch to have an effect. Even though it's not the effect I want, we are having an effect, and that means we are actually talking. That means that we are actually having, right now, it's not a conversation, it's a discussion. And it can border an argument, but the only one who argues is her. So I'll just do a little bit. Can you move that? Can you move that? Can you move that? Can you move that away from me and not towards me? Okay. Can you move that? Can you move that? Come on. Oh, you were so close. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, and then we'll have to do some more. Let's see. There you go. That was really good. She consciously, on purpose, moved her back legs away without getting too annoyed. So let's see if we can put something here and ask her to move a little bit forward. No. And the same here. No. There you go. Hello, darling. So now we already, it's not permanent, but we already see a different attitude when I come with the stick, a different kind of facial expression, and also a different energy. So we'll see if we can get her to move even more forward. Nope. There you go. That was good. That was good. So now it's a different side. Yeah, see, this is not what I'm asking, but she's doing a good thing, even though I'm not asking. But she's doing for not a positive reason. She's doing to avoid the conversation. So if you do it, if she does it too much, then I'll just say, can you move your, can you go forward again? Can you go forward again? There you go. Come on, go forward again. Go forward. There you go. That was better. That didn't smell good. What about this? Yeah. Lovely. Lovely. And then it's also super important that when she shows positivity like that, and a good choice to be positive, friendly, and actually come towards me, that we are reinforcing that and encouraging that and asking for more of that. And then we'll see if I can ask her to back up a little bit here. So now, are you ready for a thing from her? So I'm going to touch her like this. There you go. But it was in combination with the hand, which I want, because I want her to always answer to the hand if my hand is on and asking, so that I don't have to use this. So then I'm saying, can you come forward again? Can you come forward again? There you go. That was nice. Lovely. And then I'll do it again after a little while. So if you come from this, or if you can see, I don't know if you can see well there. Okay, good. So I'm just getting myself ready to jump if I need to, because this is the situation you talked about, like when you ask her to move with your hands, especially if you're down here on the chest. So I'll use my fingers first and just put some, there you go. And if she moves like that, that's good. Then I can do it again. Like if she's polite, then I won't, of course, won't do anything. See what she says to this. That's good. So now she kind of has this look on her face that's more inwards. So she's kind of considering everything that's happening and she's processing it. And actually a little bit vulnerable, but we are still not done with the talk, with the conversation here, my love. So now I'm going to see what happens if I push here. If it is a trigger point, just a push, or if it's because of the person is in there. And it was because of the person is in there. So it's not just a pushing thing that's a trigger. And the same also, like we did out here, if I do this, that's kind of a trigger for her. Not right now, but it was kind of a trigger because it was the hands, it was the person who comes. But if I do like this, it's not a trigger, she just moves now because she knows that's what it means. So I don't have to do that much. And that, we can't be completely certain, but that is usually a sign of a person just not assaulting, but how do you say kränka? Yeah. Kind of stepping over the boundaries of her personal boundaries with their demands and orders. Hey babe, want to come join me again? When you see it being triggered from like a personal approach. So now I feel a little bit more safe, so I'll just stand here and ask her to back up again, and then I'll just put myself away. So I'll tap here and ask her to move. And ask her to move away. So that's, of course, it's the same thing. That's the trigger point. So we have to work around that. So I'll use my fingers here and then I'll do this. And then I'll say, can you move away? And it doesn't really matter if she backs up in the beginning. It's just that she understands that she has to move away from me. And it's important that I'm not being reactive and also forceful, but that I'm just neutral when this happens. And now we're back to some expectations again. So I'll say, can you come here? There you go. So now we'll see. Lovely, my love. So the trigger is this part, and the trigger, well, it's her body, but especially this part, because it's usually here that we go when we want to move them in this kind of environment. So that's why we have the trigger there. And if I go towards the nose like this, we don't have the trigger, we just have the movement. So in order to, in time, kind of change her expectation, I have to go here, but show her that it can be something else other than what she has been having before. Yeah, come on, a little more. There you go. So she's also a little bit more reserved on this side compared to the other side, and that can just mean that she's more used to having the insult here on this side and having the things happen on this side. Yeah, we will fix this, my love. There you go. Come on. Very well. So there I didn't touch because she was having such a nice attitude. She was really thinking about it. But I still wanted to kind of affect this area so that we can have some sort of comparison. But now I actually want to affect this area. So what I do is I push a little bit here, and if nothing happens, I'll just punch and touch, and then touch. There you go. So that was very good. There wasn't any forward energy. There was only backwards energy or reluctant backwards energy. So that was very good. But still, then the expectation comes as soon as she sees this, and that's why she kind of reserves herself and avoids the stuff. So now I'm going to ask her to go over there. So I'm saying, can you move this over there? So we're just having a conversation. Can you move your legs over there? There you go. Now this stick is starting to mean something different to her than what she has before. And that's all about the way you use it, not that you use it or don't use it. It's about the way you use it. So the way we use it is just a little bit here, and then just some energy, and then a touch there, and the touch needs to match. And then we need to feel the conversation. Okay, so she didn't really want to go into my space. So, but if I put myself over here, then there's a lot of space there, then she'll probably move over there. If I come here, like this. You see? It's very, very clear, very simple. Move that away. Come back to me. Come back to me. Okay. There you go. Come back to me. There you go. And then we'll see here again. That's good. So now she's too far forward for me to just ask her to go over there. So I actually have to ask her to go backwards. And we'll do the same. I'll push, a light push here. That's nice. That's very nice. I'll see there. Come on. And then one tap, and then tap, tap. Just to have her move. Even though she moved her front, it's just go away, go backwards there. Now we can see here. So now I'll just ask her nose to go over there. Very well. And now I'm asking her feet to go over there. So it's all about matching until the point we get an effect. And when we have the effect, we just hold it there. We don't increase and we don't decrease, like take it off. We just hold it there, because that's when I hold the stick like this and my energy is in that way that it is, then she can kind of figure out, what does he mean? Oh, does he mean this? And then she can interact with that. Hey, babe. Yeah. So we'll do it again. Now the nose is there. So it's actually the legs. So I'll just say, can you move your legs? And then a tap more. And now we have an effect there. So I need to do a little, see now she's resisting. Now it's just not, it's not just attitude and stuff. That was a conscious decision of I don't want to and I'm not going to. The other times is I just don't want to because, and this was where she said I'm not going to. And it's okay to give her that, even though it's not what I wanted, because the conscious decision that she made was her choice. And if I encourage her choice, then she can also start to choose good instead of just doing bad or choosing bad. So she should never be punished for making a decision. And that's probably what she has been doing, what has happened to her. There you go, my love. So now first the nose. Okay, come on. Can I do it? Can I do it? No, okay. Fine. So she did good. There was no real attitude. It was just, oh, it's uncomfortable. But there was no real attitude. And she just backed up instead of moving her nose. That's okay. That's okay. Then we'll say, can you move your nose over there? The nose is that way. And then follow with your feet. So a light tap, a bigger tap. And this is good. She's resisting, but she doesn't have the angry attitude. The ears is back, yes, but you see the eyes and you also feel the energy and you feel the chins here. It's actually soft, and that means she's considering the choice. She doesn't, of course, doesn't really like what's happening and all that, but it's not unpleasant to her, and it's not aggressive or insulting, and she's considering it. And the reason the ears is back is just because everything is close to her here. There you go. And we also, like if we see the horse now compared to before, like she's kind of sunk down 10 centimeters or something like that. And now she's also resting, but the neck is loose and relaxed. Like the whole horse has become more relaxed and not tense and expectant, which means that she's in a frame of mind where she can actually work with this, that she can actually learn something and study and improve and grow. And we need to show her that this is what we are asking for, basically. This is what everything means. This is the purpose. And the purpose is not just to move her around. The purpose is to get a better attitude. Yeah. So here we saw a different kind of avoidance, because all the other times I have gone to her, she had kind of came with the head and were curious, but she was kind of just like, oh, what's happening? And that's because she's so much inside of her now processing, so we have to leave her alone. Then it's very important that I don't go and mess with her, because then I'll just create a bad experience. But if I leave her now she's at the point of the boundary. She's kind of at this one in her emotional development, at the threshold. And she's standing here and says, do I dare to take the leap of faith, or shall I go back, or shall I just stay here? And this is a scary place to be emotionally. That's why it's important that we leave her alone and don't mess with her or bother her. And you can also see like the ears is kind of back, which is typical for horses in that frame of mind, is they are half back. And I think, I haven't confirmed it, and I think it's probably impossible to confirm it scientifically, but I think it's an instinct in prey animals to kind of really pay attention what's behind them when they are in a vulnerable or fragile frame of mind or position, because in front she has her eyes. So now she kind of double covers herself, like looking in front and listening behind when she's in that frame of mind. But what we're looking for now we see the whole body language here. And what we're looking for is a very clear and obvious change in that body language before we can do anything. Right now, this is the status quo. This is the utgångsläge. This is what we are. This is point 0. So now we are looking for either a plus or a minus, if we can say so. But we are looking for a definite change in the body language before we do anything. Right now, we just give her time to soak up and think all of this. And it's probably because that I have been asking her to make decisions, to think about things, also reconsider and confront some of her attitudes without being a punishment. And that is, for a horse, can be a lot to process, and that's what she's processing right now. It's not that we have done like hard work and all that stuff, but she has been working hard mentally and emotionally, and that's kind of what she's dealing with now. And then, of course, it's important to leave her alone. But it's also easy to miss for us people, to miss this state, because like when we look at, now she looks relaxed, like she's 10 centimeters shorter, and her neck is nice, it's relaxed, the leg is relaxed. But if you feel the energy and you listen basically to the energy, everything is quiet. It's like a person sitting in the couch, just sitting and thinking like this. That's kind of what she's doing right now. And if we had gone a very typical route, like many trainers do, and even good trainers and bad trainers, or just people in general, because we are the way we are, trying to match her energy and aggressiveness and defense with dominance, then we would never get this kind of development. We would just get more of what we already had. Or a subdued horse, like a horse that just gets away from everything and kind of flees inside of them. And that's not fun. So the thing is, she was not trying to dominate us. She was just being unwilling and then defensive. And if I apply dominance to defensiveness or unwillingness, then I create more of it. The only time we apply dominance, if we actually have dominance coming towards us. But that's not what she does. She avoids rather than dominating. And when she does her biting and kicking and rearing up, that's just defense, because she feels trapped. There's no way out. So the only time you see me apply dominance is when I have a truly aggressive horse that is trying to dominate me, like what they do with other horses, like not just defending, but really attacking. And that could be what she's doing out when you come out with the hay, as you explained. That could be. I don't know, because I haven't seen it. But in here, it's not dominance. She's just protecting herself and her dignity. So, and this is, we can call it soak time. Like if you have a bucket of water and you take a completely dry swamp. Oh, good. So that's a clear difference. Now let's see what she does. Yeah. So that's a very clear and obvious difference. But what's also happening is that she goes in directly again. So she's not done. But probably it won't take too long. But if you take like a sponge, swamp, completely dry sponge, and put it in a bucket of water, just put it on top. It takes some time before the sponge has soaked up all the water until it drops. And that's kind of what we're doing here. We can't force it. We just have to wait for her to soak up all the goodness and then come out of it. And that takes leadership for us as people to firstly understand this, understand the whole part of dominance that I talked about, so that we are actually approaching her the way she needs and not the way we feel we need to do, but the way she needs. And then also recognizing when this happens and giving that. And the way we recognized it was that I was going towards her like this, and the thing that usually happened didn't happen. So I had observed myself and her throughout the whole time and seeing kind of how her behavior was, how she did things. And then I store it in my memory so that when a situation like this, where maybe I could be in a bit of doubt, like it could also just be relaxed, completely relaxed. Then I can go in like this and I can compare how she were with this. And then it's very clear she's not here. And then I know. And that's kind of one of the best techniques I know to be a good self-learner, a student of yourself, is to always observe and evaluate, like what is actually happening? How does the horse actually do stuff? How do I do stuff? And then you store it, and then you compare the different situations. So I'm comparing this situation to like when I'm standing out here and she came and I put my hand out, and when we were in here and I put my hand out, she was just immediately there and nosing and curious, but here there's none of that. So then I can compare those two and say, okay, she's not relaxed, she's not confident, she's not curious, she's not here, she's inside. And then it's easy to know what to do in this situation. And it's also easy to do what I have to do. I just have to stand here. So, but I won't leave, because if I leave her in this, and then she doesn't find the meaning of it. Like it gives it no purpose. Then the whole purpose has been to get her in that frame of mind. That would be the experience. So that's not what we are wanting here. But I definitely don't want to mess with her right now, because then you can get an even bigger explosion or defense. Usually the horses who are coming to this point, and especially the horses who are staying at this point for long, means that they have had a traumatic, more traumatic experiences. I wouldn't say that she has a trauma, but she had definitely lived a traumatic life with a lot of traumatic experiences. So let's see what happens now. That was also an obvious and clear difference in body language and energy and stuff like that. But still, it's a bit. And the way we test it is just, I go here. So you see the ears come back, and that's ready for defense. But there's still, no. And that is, of course, that's very sad, that she has had that kind of life. And it doesn't mean that people have done it on purpose, but it's just very easy for us people, humans, to create that in horses. Especially horses that have talent, or horses that are big, because we feel that we need to kind of control everything and dominate things. And also, especially like if you see stallions, because we already have an idea about how to treat stallions. It's not the case with this one, but she's a big horse, and then maybe people have been unconsciously afraid of her size and just done stuff. And that has formed opinions. Could have. Of course, it could also be that when she was younger and had more energy and was more lively, that she had done stuff and then us as people feel that, oh, that's not what we want, and then we do stuff, and then we actually insult her and violate her dignity, and maybe even violate her body with stuff. And that's the only thing that forms this kind of behavior. There's nothing else in nature that can form this behavior, because wild horses doesn't have this. And horses that lives in harmony, like in the pasture or stuff like that, they don't have this. But she hasn't been living in harmony. And maybe here it's the first time in her life that she actually get a taste of harmony. And that gives her a bit of safety, a bit of stability, and a bit of confidence that she actually dares to say something. And unfortunately, you have been the victims of that. So, of course, it's very difficult to say exactly what it is, but it's not the first time I've seen this, that a horse comes from a place where they say, well, everything works, everything is good, she's never done anything, and then she comes to another place, and within a day, everything changes, or within a week, everything changes, just because they feel more free, they feel more positivity, and then their dignity is so strong that they say, okay, now I need to stand up for myself, and not just take it. So since she's in for so long in this frame of mind, it's actually best to, when she comes out, to actually finish for today. Because this is like, when a horse is in this long, a lot of things is going on in there. And if I just start doing a lot of other things and start to continue the development, then I'll just create even more that she has to process. It's not a bad thing, but it's just a lot. If it was just like the first part, and when she stretched and all that stuff, and she actually came out of it, then yeah, we could have done some more. But we need to leave her with a good experience. And right now it's neither or for her. But if we leave her now, the potential is very big for it to be a bad experience. But if we take the time it takes here, then we can give her a good experience. Then all of this can make sense to her, and then we can leave her with a good experience, which can start her having better expectations for the next time that people come. So she's not out. I don't need to test her.
No, she disappeared again.
And that is sad. It's sad. But one good thing is that there are people like you who takes horses like this. Because otherwise she would never have a future. She would just live in a terrified state, a frame of mind, and until the point where she will completely explode. And then people are not just going to be hurt like you have been. People will die because of her size, basically. Or severely injure themselves, break the back or neck or something like that. Get their teeth out or something. So, yeah. It's very unfortunate, but the positive part is that there are people like you out here, and that's kind of what also keeps me going, because this is what I do. This is what I'm being called out to all the time. Horses that have had bad experiences, and it's not all their owners who are willing to learn and are willing to face the facts. A good situation here is that you have only had her for 14 days. So you have not kind of been that invested in her with time and effort and training and stuff like that, that you have to defend it. Like many other people have. They have had the horse for a year or 2 years or something, and then suddenly the behavior comes. then they have to kind of defend what they have been doing for that year or 2 years, and then they're not always as willing to accept the facts and understand what's going on, and also learning what to do next and in the future. So even though it's not their fault, then they're still on the defense. You can put it down so you don't have to hold it.
Yeah, I can.
Since nothing is happening, you can do that.
Yes, but I will cut your head, so I can also.
Yeah.
Nice bit.
Yeah. So if we are just if we are talking about this behavior and kind of educating people a little bit about this behavior, if we look at it, if you just come in and see the video now, or if you just came in from the house into the stable now, it looks relaxed. Everything is completely quiet except the ears. But what we need to understand here is that this behavior here is not natural. It's only natural if they are out in the pasture, it's very warm and sunny, and they are sleeping. But they would only do that if they have been active the whole day. And now we know the context here. We have been doing stuff here, so there's no reason for her to be tired or to sleep. And that's why we know this is not natural, or it's not a normal frame of mind. But if we had just arrived and she was standing like this, she would probably just be sleeping. Yeah. Come on, babe. Yeah.
I want to lay down.
That's okay. It's okay. So now she can be tired, but that's because of the inner work that she's been doing, and that's why she can. But we can test it. So I can just put myself here to see. Can you see immediately? The nose comes and there's curiosity, and that means she's out of it, but now she's tired from it. And that's where we have to leave her in a very positive frame of mind with a very positive experience, and we're not bothering her. So then I'll just go out and give her the space and the peace. And that will give her at least one new positive experience to take with her for the future. And then she just needs a lot of more of the similar kind of experiences. It doesn't have to be the similar kind of things, but just the feel and the experience of it needs to be similar and positive. And then they will build on each other. Like all the negative experience she has built on each other and created, like she had the first bad experience, and that created like half expectation of the next one being bad or negative. Then the next experience she had was also negative, and that just confirmed the expectation. So then the next time she had a stronger expectation of it being negative and bad, and then the experience was negative again, and it just builds on each other. But it's the same with positivity. So now we've given her a positive experience, the first one, so next time she will have a half positive experience or expectation. And then if the next time we make it a even more positive experience, then she will confirm that expectation and then have a new positive expectation for the next time and the next time and the next time and the next time. That doesn't mean that there won't be negative experiences, but if we just build up a lot of positive expectations and experiences, then we can kind of compensate for the negative ones. That, of course, accidents can happen, or we can make a mistake, or whatever it is. But right now, she can't afford us making a mistake, because then it just brings all of this out. Yeah. Little darling. Good. So I think we will end with this, and hopefully you've learned a lot. We will talk a little bit more after this, and if you who are watching have any questions or any comments and stuff, just write them to us and then we'll answer it. Bye for now.